G'day guys, we thought we'd give you a bit of an update with what's going on. There's a few things that have happened recently. The thumbnail and the title are not clickbait. I actually have broken my car. We're down south right now. We're on the my parents' block in the southwest, and unfortunately we had to take Tiff's car down here because mine's in the panel beaters getting sorted out. So what I've done, it is a known problem with Isuzu DMAXs, and I've kept my eye on mine for a while. But I've actually cracked the inner guard. Of course it's bloody pissing down with rain when I wanted to show you this, but here we go. There's the crack. Right there on the inner guard, or the skirt, I think they call it. Just the middle of the panel there has just started tearing. No idea why. These cars have been known to do this, but generally it's on this side and it tears from rivet holes or from the bolt hole there in that inner guard. So a bit odd just to tear randomly there, but that's what we're dealing with. So that panel rolls into the firewall. There's machine welding and stuff. So it's actually quite a big job to replace that panel, which is part of the reason why we're looking at going another way. So what happened was I actually came back from Shark Bay, the trip series that's just wrapped up, and I was noticing a lot of vibrating coming from that quarter panel, and I assumed that maybe the snorkel or the wing mirror or something was loose. So I gave the car a good wash after that trip, like I always do, and had to dig around under the bonnet, sort of looking at things to find out what was rattling. And then I found that big dirty crack and freaked out a bit, didn't I?
By big though, like it was small.
Yeah, I know, but
I didn't really see the big deal, but you were quite worried about it.
Yeah, I was concerned because it's sort of in a crumple zone there, I imagine. I mean, I don't know everything about this sort of stuff, but when I started doing some Googling, I read stuff about engine having to come out, dash having to come out, and replacing both skirts and the fire panel as one replacement. Anyway,
and didn't you read it was like a $15,000 repair job?
Yeah, that's what scared the shit out of me. So anyway, I took it to the crash repairers to let them have a look at it and get a quote from them, and they were really good. They said it's not that big a deal. Basically, they said if they were to replace that panel, there'd be more cutting, more welding. They wouldn't have to take the motor out. Very unlikely anyway. And they said that they could replace the panel, but it probably wasn't worth doing. Instead, they want to weld it up, plate behind it, and they said it would be stronger than replacing it with a new panel, and it means pulling less stuff apart, and because if the more things you mess with, the more mistakes you can have in the future, if you know what I mean. So it meant less of an impact on the rest of the car by repairing it rather than replacing it, and he said it would be stronger than it was initially.
Yeah. And it was only $800 repair bill, so
about that.
Not crazy money. Yeah,
it's actually at the crash repairers now. By the time we get back from this little joint down south, it should be done. So I should be able to show you some footage of the repair now, so I'll cut to that. So somewhere along here is where the crack was. What the crash repair has done is he's stripped out all the components you need to in the engine bay to get to the area. He stripped off the quarter panel, and I'm pretty sure he welded the top and the bottom of the crack so it didn't spread any further. Cleaned up all the surfaces, welded that crack shut, and then he's actually welded a plate on the backside that you can't see to strengthen up that whole area. Then he was able to sand that weld flush and respray the inner guard. So it looks brand new, and it should be stronger than a replacement panel with that plate on the back now. I shouldn't have any cracks in that exact area again, but this panel, this skirt, and the other side that hasn't been had anything done to it yet, are always going to be susceptible to cracking because it's some sort of design issue or design fault with Isuzu DMAXs and MUXs. There's a lot of cases I've come to find from about 2012 onwards of these vehicles cracking in this area, which is a bit of a shame. But interestingly, what happened while this was all taking place, I was getting a lot of messages and comments and emails from people with links to an article that had been posted. And it was in relation to a legal firm called Bannister Legal or Bannister Lawyers. And they're currently getting people to register their details that have had DMAXs and MUXs that have had cracked guards because they're looking at some class action. This class action is also going to involve DPF and turbo failures from 2017 onwards models because there's been a lot of them as well. Mine's is 2016, so no DPF, no turbo issues, but I've obviously had a cracked inner guard and I'm out of pocket. This ended up costing me about $900. I settled the bill myself privately straight through the crash repairer. I didn't bother going through Isuzu because they're terrible to deal with, and I didn't want them to hold on to my car for months while they quabbled over the bill. That would have actually cost me more in the long run. So I paid for it myself. I am out of pocket, and this class action through this law firm will be interesting to see how it plays out, because not only am I out of pocket for the repair, but once this is a recognized issue now with this vehicle, and that affects resale value as well. So hopefully this law firm come to some sort of arrangement with Isuzu to compensate owners like me that have these vehicles with these faults. In the meantime, all I can do is continue to check these guards every now and then, and hopefully I don't find any more cracks. Anyway, let's get back to chatting with Tiff. So hopefully by the time you're seeing that footage now, it's all sorted out and it didn't cost me too much.
Oh, are you going to mention that it like shook your confidence a little bit and you started to look around at other cars?
Yeah, let's get into that. Yeah. So that, yeah, you're bang on. That scared the crap out of me really, because that car's only got just over 100,000 Ks on it. It's done 5 years of abuse. I'm hard on my gear.
Not to mention though, with the new Caravan coming, we were a little bit concerned about weights.
Yeah. We're maxed out on weights. We're always going to be legal because we're that's important to us. But we're maxed out on weights. That engine's been tuned and it's been pushed pretty hard. And I do a lot of corrugations and a lot of rough tracks and stuff. Nothing hardcore, but just a lot of relentless stuff that causes metal fatigue, as you can see. So yeah, shook my confidence a bit in that car because I was hoping to get another 5 years out of it, and now I'm not so sure.
Definitely our next trip at least, the 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on that note, I started doing, because I've been, I'm always thinking about what's next anyway. I've only just finished that build, so I wanted to get another 5 years out of it. But I'm still always forward thinking about, what vehicle will suit our needs next. And there's not a lot, to be honest. We have particular needs. So those needs are, we want to tow a big van, and I want to take a tinny on top. And that affects things, obviously affects your payload and stuff like that. And then we have gross combination, weight limits, towing a big van and all the rest of it. So yeah, I've always thought maybe, I talked previously about the Ineos Grenadier, but that's getting really expensive, and that's not really something I'll look at anymore, I don't think. But probably what would fit our needs would be something like a Y62 Patrol. Would have been a 200 series Land Cruiser, but I just couldn't, I wouldn't pay the price they're asking for them now for a second-hand one.
Yep.
And the 300 series is also sort of out of our price range now. I just couldn't justify it.
But the problem with the Y62 is you couldn't have the boat on top.
Yeah, because the payload issues.
That's what rules it out for you anyway.
So then it's really utes, and that's why I'm in a ute now, because I have a decent payload and also decent towing capacity. But the mid-size utes like mine, like any sort of mid-size dual cab, like a Ranger, Amarok, Hilux, BT50, or DMAX, I'm concerned that they're all going to be similar sort of power and just how much abuse can they put up with, because they're like a 60% on-road or 70% on-road, 30% off-road sort of vehicle. They're made primarily for comfort, for day-to-day commuting, and then a secondary their secondary sort of purpose is for off-road and touring. So I've been looking at 79 series Land Cruisers, which I don't think are the perfect car.
No, they're so basic for what you're paying.
They only come in manual, which is a pain in the ass. They've got that track issue, front and rear.
They don't come with anchor points for the car seats.
Yeah, you got to engineer them and modify them to put baby seats in them. So they're not the perfect car. I've been hearing rumours that there's 2 to 4 year waits on getting one. Some people are saying that dealers have told them you just won't get one. So I thought I'd find out for myself, and I rang around a few dealers, and that didn't seem to be the case here in Perth.
No, it's your typical rumour mill.
Yeah, beat up on social media. So what I found was 12 to 24 months was the wait time for one, and I could secure one today if I wanted to. So what I've done, one of the dealers, he said 24 months, and he said I don't need a deposit to secure you a build slot. So I've ordered one. But I'm not 100% that I'm actually going to go through with one. I just want to have the option in 2 years' time.
It's a good backup plan. I don't think, you're not 100% sure that you're even going to get one, but it's a good option to have, and there's no risk for us. Like we can put it down and put a name against it.
And at this point right now today, we're still thinking we're going to take the DMAX.
Yeah.
But it just gives us that option in 2 years' time if anything changes, or if the car's falling apart, which is potentially it might be. I don't know.
Or if we get the van and it's severely overweight.
Yeah.
Which is a possibility.
Let's get on to that now, the van, eh?
Yeah, van update.
Swift, you all know about the Swift debacle.
Yeah, the stoves that most caravans have. There's been a recall, not a recall, but a do not use notice. So, yeah, anyone that had a Swift stove was told to stop using them, and that happened about 2 or 3 months ago now. So yeah, they put that out, and then they have just recently been recalled. A certain date range have been recalled, and anything outside of that date range are free to use again. So the van that we're getting built has a Swift stove in it, but we are free to use that now. So that's not holding up production anymore.
But we think it did.
We could have, yeah.
Because ours has been pushed back.
We are running behind schedule. So it was due to be built mid-June?
Due to be built May originally, and then we were going to receive it late June to early July, which we've passed.
Yeah, now they're saying due off the assembly line what are we now?
August.
Mid-July. No, mid-July.
Yeah, you're right, mid-July.
And then delivery in August, but we'll see.
Yeah, so we're not really holding our breath. Yeah, we're still getting it a hell of a lot sooner than we expected, so we're not too concerned.
We have a trip booked for September though, so we are hoping to get it before then.
Yeah, that'll be a bummer if we don't.
Yeah.
And also we've got it booked in for a big, the big 12-volt battery build, solar panels, all the rest of it. That's going to be interesting. We're going to do something a little bit different. We're talking about potentially doing a 24-volt build on that, and I'll discuss the pros and cons for that a little bit later in that video.
Oh, and then you want to talk about the reason why we've got coughing?
Oh, we've had COVID.
Yeah, we both had COVID.
Yeah, it's ripped through the whole family.
Oh yeah, we all had it actually. Yeah. That was about a month ago? Oh, 3 or 4 weeks ago.
A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad actually. Everyone has it differently, but for us it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, just sort of like a cold.
And I caught up on heaps of editing.
I tell you what though, like the cough that you get afterwards, it's like the most non-productive dry cough, and it's just so annoying. It's
the spicy cough, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I caught up on heaps of editing, and we were all together for a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
and
it was good.
It was actually quite good to be all together. Yeah. We got quite a bit going on at home as well, some renos and stuff.
Yeah, we just got the pool put in.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about?
Oh, Creator on the Rise.
Oh yeah, I don't know, you might have seen, I put a video out and I also put posts on social media, I think. By the time you see this, a couple of weeks ago, I got an email from YouTube. They've nominated me as Creator on the Rise. Now, I didn't know what that was. So I did some Googling, and I found a lot of posts and stuff from people that had said when it happened to them. Basically, YouTube sponsor your channel, like promote your channel for a 24-hour period, and it can reach either everyone in Australia or everyone in the world, I don't know. But it reaches a massive amount of people through the YouTube Explore page, which is not the home page.
No.
And from everything I read and watched on YouTube, we thought that...
Were they older posts though?
Nah, 6 months ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we'd heard that it could make your channel explode, and you get heaps of new followers and subscribers and stuff. And we were excited for that. And I kind of... I expected it, or I was hoping.
You were hopeful.
I was hoping it would pan out like that. Yeah. And so that's why I made that little video, and I was talking about it, and because I was genuinely really excited. It was a huge flop. It was such a flop. I think I gained like 50 subscribers during that 24-hour period, which is pretty much normal for my channel at the moment.
Yeah, it might have been slightly higher than normal, but not.
It wasn't. If I look at my analytics, it was a normal day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I got nothing to complain about. 50 subscribers in a day is still a good day anyway. It just didn't pan out how I expected it. But yeah, we've never taken shortcuts.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we just keep putting out content that revolves around what we're doing, and if people like it, they'll watch it. Yeah. If they don't, they won't.
And that's funny. Remember we put up we did a Q&A on our stories a few weeks ago, and someone said someone asked something like, do you feel like you're constantly having to spend money or
to keep up,
or buy things just to keep up on YouTube, or just to show them on YouTube? But yeah, far from the truth, really.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah. Maybe some people do, but for you, I think you've always just sort of stuck in your own lane and just done things that interest you.
Yeah. I don't know how much you'll know about the little social media world, but there's things you can do to try get yourself out there, like pay for sponsored posts. You can actually buy subscribers, buy followers on Instagram. You can beg people to follow ya.
do collaborations, you know, with bigger channels.
Yeah, lots of collabs to try reach a broader audience, and if you know, a lot of channels do that, and but yeah, it's just not something.
I mean, you do collaborations with Pete, WA Camping Adventures, but you've actually become really good friends, and it was friends first, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was never about for either us about promoting our channels. It was about hanging out because we're like-minded.
And like both of our families, like we love each other. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing I was going to just briefly mention as well was if you have ever thought about, a lot of people ask me about coming on group camps or coming camping, or am I going to do tag along tours and stuff like that. And I'm just too time poor to do it. It's something I'd love to do in the future.
You would like to, yeah. I think it will be something, if things continue on and you keep doing YouTube and you're earning more and more money and
step away from work.
And you can step away from working full time, I think then you would have the time. But right now with working full time and doing YouTube, there's just no time.
Nah. But yeah, one thing I was just going to mention, what I have been doing is I have Patreon, I have Patreon supporters, and there's, you know, different things that come with that. And if you're interested, I'll put a link in the description about with my Patreon information if you want to see what that actually entails. But one of the things that we do is we do group camps, and we've only done one so far, not too long ago, but I'm already planning the next one. And I think by now, yeah, I can tell you, because I would have released it to my patrons already, this information, but Pete and I are both going to do a group camp, a Patreon camp together. So if you ever thought about becoming a patron and you want to come on group camps and stuff like that, this would be a really good one to come on.
No pressure though.
Yeah, no, if you want to. If you don't, it's all good.
Yeah.
We'll see you Saturday mornings here. Is that about it?
Yeah, so yeah, hopefully pick up the van next month, hopefully. Yeah.
And we have a heap of
and
ideas.
Lots and lots of people saying they miss seeing me on video.
Yeah,
so
they do.
I'll be back when we get the van.
Yeah, once we got the van, we'll start doing some...
And the kids too.
Family trips.
Yeah.
I'll quickly rip through some of the videos we're planning to do once we pick up the van. And if you think of anything else you want to see or know about, let us know for sure. But basically, we're going to pick up the van and we're going to show you a bit of a walk through it. I'm going to weigh it straight away while it's empty, because...
before we do anything.
Like literally as it came from the yard.
Because we've heard a lot of manufacturers, the tear weight that you have on your compliance plate does not match the actual weight. So we're gonna put that to the test.
We're going to find out. I suspect we're going to find it's a lot heavier than what's on the plate, from what I'm hearing. We'll see. We're going to fit a Chinese diesel heater, and that's going to... People have differing opinions on that, but this will be our third one. So we're all for it, and I'll show you exactly which one we've bought, talk about why, show you how easy they are to fit yourself, and of course we'll keep you updated on how it goes. It's something we've bought ourselves, it's not a...
And then you wanted to do mods for travelling Australia, so
yeah,
just the little things that we're going to
add to
the van.
Yeah, little bits and pieces we've picked up along the way that we know work well.
Yeah.
So we'll fit them, and we'll talk to you about them. The big 12 volt fit out, or 24 volt fit out, whatever it may be.
Yeah, so you're hoping to film some of that?
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're going to film. We're going to do a heap of shakedown trips, just little ones to test all the gear and make sure everything works, and just to see what else we need to be more comfortable and stuff. And we're going to film those little family trips and post them. Sort of stuff we normally do. It'll be about the trip, it'll be about the family life, and it'll also be about the van life. And then once we're fully loaded and we've done all the mods we want, we'll do the big weigh-in, and that's when we're going to start figuring out, are we going to be able to take... the car should definitely be able to tow the van.
Whether or not you can take the tinny.
Whether or not the tinny can come, and then if not, is there anything that can be done to accommodate it?
Yeah, and then we've got the backup plan of the 79 series.
Yeah.
And the good thing with the 2-year wait is you've got plenty of time to save up for it.
To pay for it.
We have absolutely no money since buying a caravan and getting a pool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why we decided to do both at exactly the same time. It was
and also while you're off work with the baby.
Yes.
So yeah, we've bled the... we've paid for everything. We work really hard to pay for what we have.
But we have nothing left.
Yeah, we haven't taken loans out or anything,
mortgage.
but we spent a lot of our savings.
All right, that's it.
Righto. See you next Saturday morning for another video.
Bye.
Cheers, guys.